Hello and welcome to Building the Premier Accounting Firm. I'm Roger Knecht, your host, and I'm excited to have you on this podcast because we're focusing on how to help you build a successful accounting, bookkeeping, and tax business. This podcast is actually a show dedicated to helping accounting professionals confidently and competently offer quality accounting services and get paid what they are worth. Each of the episodes is a conversation with tips and tricks to help you actually apply in your business the things that will actually help you better market, generate leads, work with ideal clients, price your services effectively, accounting services that you ought to consider, value-added services that you should be considering, workflow, practice management, training of staff, a variety of principles, tips, and tricks from the experts that you can actually apply in your business and, in fact, have the premier accounting firm. So with that in mind, I'm your host, Roger Knecht, president of Universal Accounting Center, and I've been working with accounting professionals now for more than 20 years, helping them both start and build accounting businesses. I've been doing this with individuals around the world, predominantly in the United States and in Canada, but in doing so, I've actually helped people identify what is their ideal client, what is it that they would like to actually offer as quality accounting services. How much would they like to be earning? Would they like to do this as a solo entrepreneur? Would they like to have staff? What types of services would they like to provide? On and on, all with the intent of helping them get paid what they're worth and be happy providing those accounting services. Today, I have a special guest, someone that I'm sure you're going to enjoy listening to. She's a peer. Ashley Schmitz happens to be the owner of Each Penny Bookkeeping and is also a United States Army veteran, something I did want to point out. She's a married mother of 4, and she also helps entrepreneurs who are frustrated, struggling, and behind in their bookkeeping to work in their brilliance and not in their books so that she can have them stop paying their employees tax bills and late fees now. So what we want to do is work on the business, and welcome to the show, Ashley. So thanks for being here, Ashley.
Oh, thanks for having me, Roger. I'm so excited to be here.
So let's start, first of all, with a little bit of background. Share with us a little bit of what got you to become a bookkeeper. I mean, of all the things in the world, how did you actually get introduced into the profession?
So what I actually did was I was a married mom of 4, and I struggled with the time that I wanted to be able to spend with my children, spend with my family, but also contribute to my family. Mm-hmm. And I actually initially wanted to become a nurse. My mom is a nurse. I wanted to follow in her footsteps. But I kept taking the tests and I kept failing the entrance exam by 0.7 or less.
Oh my heavens.
So after the third try, I saw that as somewhat of a sign that I need to go into something different. And I'd always been good with numbers and I like, analytics and things of that nature. So I decided to get my degree in accounting. And in that, I had all these babies and I didn't want to work for somebody else. So I Googled, how do I start a bookkeeping business? And I came across a program that taught me about marketing and all of this. And that is how 5 years ago I started my practice.
I love it. So what I can definitely resonate with is I know so many of our listeners have similar situations. One of the things that I think is quite interesting is here you are, a mother, recognizing that there's got to be something else out there that you can do. And you said contributing to the family finance. All of a sudden you go out there and search and you find bookkeeping. And honestly, it is actually regularly listed as the best of the best home-based businesses simply because there's no inventory. It's a service that all businesses need. So in essence, is there a demand? Yes. Nearly every business you look at can obviously benefit from your services. Is there an easy way to acquire the skills to provide the service? Yes. This isn't something that takes 8 years to perfect. You can literally go out there and learn accounting and bookkeeping to spend the same principles of debits and credits for more than 500 years since Farluca Pacioli. And then at the end of the day, one of the things that's very compelling is the fact that you can grow a business as large or as small as you want. You can have a handful of paying customers, something that you do on weeknights, weekends, or you can grow a thriving business at 6, 7 income or multiples in income. All those things are possible. So that is wonderful. So here you are, you find this information on starting your business, you get the training. Tell us about, you obviously didn't go find employment. You started a business. Tell us about your starting out and getting clients. How did that go?
So it was a struggle for the first couple of years. I was really trying to find the balance between being able to give a good product to my clients, but still being a mom. And so I really struggled with figuring out how I would be able to balance it. But, going through getting my education, going through this program, Bookkeeper Launch, to actually launch a business really gave me the confidence to know that I was going to be able to put a good product out there. And in that, it taught me all the marketing of how to look for people and where I need to be putting myself out there. So it really took me to the next level of mindset of how I was going to grow my business. Even though at first it was a really hard struggle to get going because I was young and I had young kids. So I didn't know if I was almost worthy of having it.
Mm-hmm.
But once I really got going and I started believing in myself, the confidence just grew from there.
You used such an important word, it's confidence, and you alluded to something that is quite common, which is referred to as imposter syndrome. And
yes.
I think both of those things are very, very identifiable as the listeners are hearing what you're sharing, because I think everybody kind of goes through some evolution of that. So what I want to do is I want to ask, as you were balancing, and I'm not one who really likes the word balance. I think it gives the wrong impression, but we'll use it here. As you were balancing your role as a mother with that of starting and build your business, as you reflect back, what were some of the challenges that you faced there?
Some of the challenges that I faced were figuring out that it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to things. And then it's also okay to ask for help from people.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have to be the person that does everything at all times. I have somebody come and cut my grass. I have somebody that comes and cleans my house, because it's okay to not, as a mother, we always feel this massive guilt for not being the person that does everything perfectly all the time. And knowing that it's okay to really ask for other people around you to step up so that you can grow this business and be a good parent, because it takes a full-time work ethic to really grow this business, but it's okay for other things to be pushed off to other people to do.
Amen. I think you just said some things that a lot of people can really resonate with and identify. What you're describing is common. So here you are, you're starting your business, you're getting the clients. It's taken you a few years to get where you wanted to be. What advice would you give to your past self as you consider those challenges that were faced? Was it worth it? Is it something that you're glad you've done? And what would you tell your past self?
Well, it was absolutely worth it. The freedom that I feel to be able to check out, spend time with my kids, but have the boundaries of checking in and really being there for my clients. It was absolutely 100% worth it. And I wouldn't change my journey at all. The thing that I would tell myself is that investing in yourself from the beginning is huge, because if you're not investing in somebody wiser and better and bigger than you, then you're not going to go as fast as you want. And so I think the one thing that I would have told myself was invest in myself, and invest in myself early.
So you've hit something that's hugely important. I couldn't agree with you more. When you realize that your business is really your skill sets, and it boils down to your confidence and your competence. It's your confidence to look a business owner in the eye and say, I can take care of your accounting needs. It's the competence to actually know how to do that work efficiently and profitably. And so investing in yourself so that you're at the top of your game, you're the expert, that you're actually able to do the things you need to in an efficient way so that you, in fact, can be profitable providing these services, causes an investment. It's keeping your skills really attuned to what's going on in the marketplace today. It's maybe knowing the technologies that exist to complement the accounting services we offer. So what does investing in your business or in you look like?
So for me, the investing in my business was my first real big thing was getting a coach. I have a business coach that is near and dear to my heart, and she gave me the business knowledge in the direction that I needed to go. And she knows how to push me to do the things that I know I should do, but I kind of struggle with, well, is it going to be worth it? Is it something I should be doing? because everything for me is about the time that I'm spending on something. And so that was the first big investment that I took, was investing in her to help me. But then in that, it was amazing the things that I learned and how that small investment has really helped me thrive in my business because of the techniques and the different things that she taught me and how fast I was able to grow because of it.
Yep. I can't agree with you more, because coaching is a game changer, and it's kind of a synonymous thing. I asked, what does investing in your business look like? And what you described is investing in yourself. And as you run your business, it's almost like in some ways they're interchangeable, you and your business. But the coaching element, what you were describing there, happens to be two key elements of great coaching. And it's, first of all, that they're asking the right questions of you to help you kind of expand your potential and your possibilities. They're really getting you to step outside of your comfort zone and realize your true potential. But the second part of the coaching that really is impactful is the accountability. The accountability that, as a business owner, if we don't have a coach, we're at the top of the food chain. We can procrastinate all day long and we don't have to account or report to anyone. But when you have a coach and you tell somebody as a coach that this is important, and next week when you meet with them, you have to explain that you've done nothing about it, it's kind of embarrassing. And so the coach holds you accountable to ensure that what you think is a priority is in fact there and taken seriously. And therefore you accomplish a lot more quickly than if you hadn't been working with a coach. So I loved how you described that. That was well said. So here's the thing that I think is very helpful. And you've gone through this pandemic, this whole crises at an economic level that's happened over this past year or more. How did your business become affected, and was it something that you benefited from?
So I don't, maybe benefited isn't the word I would use, but the thing that was interesting about the pandemic was everybody was realizing that they had to buckle down on their finances.
Mm-hmm.
And if they weren't doing their finances correctly, they weren't able to take advantage of all the government assistance that was coming to them as a small business owner. But in order to get that assistance, they needed to be able to, show their income statement,
Yes.
be able to have a balance sheet that was correct. And in the pandemic, I saw it as an opportunity. One, I invested in a coach before then. So I had that investment in myself, and I knew that it was going to be okay. But the thing that I really changed in my mindset for the pandemic was giver's gain. And in that, I slashed my prices for any oncoming client. I really went above and beyond with the services that I was going to provide them. I wasn't just going to do, their basic data entry and their AP and their AR. I was really going to be the person that cracked down, saw where they were spending their money, figured out that you can divert this into other places. How are we going to help you? And in that, I may have made less money because of it, but I gained a reputation in my area of, she's the expert. She's the person that's going to have my back. And because of that, I have then been able to put on a 6-figure business in the pandemic. And it was just, the ability to help people has been so just wonderful. I love being that person for somebody that in a crisis, they know Ashley's got my back. And that's what I want to be for everybody.
Yeah. So you're right. During the pandemic, a lot of businesses that perhaps prior didn't need all the accounting detail and information because maybe things were going well with the economy beforehand, all of a sudden the economy takes that turn, and for them to qualify for, let's say, the PPP, they all of a sudden need to provide financials that were current and accurate. And so their need for the accounting services became a lot more apparent. But at the same time, a lot of businesses needed to adapt to this new economy and situation. And it really did require them to get the accounting information that we were able to offer. And so I'm glad that you were able to step in, take a moment and help these business owners as you did. And now you are, in fact, that resource to them that they need to stay relevant and in business. So here's a question regarding advertising, I guess. But what strategies do you use to grow your business?
So I actually use 4 different strategies, and these are where I focus my time and effort into my business and growth. So the first one was social media. I found a lot of people have found me because I'm very consistent on a daily, regular basis of just putting something out there, putting a helpful tip, reminding people that I'm there and that I'm available to talk to you. And social media has really helped people find me because I work with a lot of millennials. I work with a lot of younger people, and that's where we all communicate. I'm a millennial, so I can say it, but I know we all communicate through there, and we're not the people that just find somebody on, Google. We are FBI agents. We research people.
It's so true.
So we dig in. And so I've loved using social media as a place where I've been able to reach my target audience. The next one has been networking. I have been consistent on making sure that I am in the groups that I want to be in that has my target audience, beginning to have them understand that they can know, like, and trust me, and being that resource for them to go to, even if they're not a client of mine. I've been very consistent on making sure that they remember my name. And so that when they do become the right time for me, I'm the first person that pops into their head.
Yeah.
The other way, sponsorship. Sponsorship to me is huge. Different events. My business coach has put on, 3-day events. Different organizations that I'm a part of put on different events. So sponsoring those, getting my name out there by other people, that has been huge for me in making, consistent revenue. And then the last one is I actually, because of my coach, put together a 1-day event for small business owners where I give them the nitty-gritty information of everything your business needs to know for bookkeeping. I actually call it the Business Bookkeeping Boot Camp. And in that, I give them from merchant processors to softwares to use to what resources do you need for sales tax to I make them actually fill out an 1120S. And I teach them all of the things that they need to know, bare bones, so that they can have their business going in the right direction and then have a resource and feel confident. Even if they don't take on a bookkeeper, these are the things that I need. And this is the checklist to make sure my business is compliant.
One of the things that you said a few times in there, and I think it's worth emphasizing, is as part of your 4 strategies to market and grow your business, you were using the word resource. Whether it be on social media, you're seen as a resource. Whether it be at the networking groups, you're seen as that resource. And with your events that you're doing, you're obviously providing information as a resource. You're literally positioning yourself as that expert that these people can be just politely reminded of, so that all of a sudden when that need presents itself, they can either refer you or reach out to you themselves for the services that you provide, because they now trust you, as you were describing earlier, know, like, and trust. So all those things are kind of coming together. It's a strategy where all 4 of these things are complementing and in the end generating you the clients that you're looking for. So I love how you just concisely drew that up. It's a deliberate marketing and sales plan. So well said. Now, here's a question that I think is going to be answered by everyone differently, but I'd love to get your answer, which is, what does it mean to be or build a successful bookkeeping business?
For me, it just means that I can be everything that I set out to be. I can be the great wife. I can be the great mom. I can be the great business owner that I know I was put on this planet to be. And I feel like I'm contributing. I feel like not only am I putting good people into this world, but I'm helping other business owners get to their excellence through using mine, and helping them take that off their plate has been just the most satisfying thing that I think I've ever done. Like, it's wonderful to grow children, and that is a completely different satisfaction, but helping a business owner that has been so frustrated and is seconds away from losing their business if they don't get X, Y, and Z in order, getting that in order for them, and then them keeping their livelihood, it could make me cry just thinking of how amazing it feels to help somebody get back in line for themselves.
So true. Seeing that happen with our clients is very rewarding. I agree. The next question is going to be an interesting one. I want to draw back to your service in the Army, and when you were actually serving, you experienced and did things. How has that impacted your bookkeeping business? What things did you learn as lessons? What skills did you get that you feel have carried into your bookkeeping business?
The military gave me a lot of things. One, it gave me a husband. So that was really great and has shaped my life. But the things that it gave me for my bookkeeping business is, the diligence in time, making sure the right place, right uniform, always, prepared and ready. That's one thing that it really gave me. And that's something that I put into my business. I'm very diligent about making sure that client work is taken care of, emails are taken care of, people are taken care of. So that's one thing that I've gotten into my business. But the other thing is integrity. I am not scared to say, I screwed up. Let me fix that. Let me help you. My bad. I will not throw somebody else under the bus. And I definitely have learned that you can't go through life without integrity. And that was the one thing that was like drilled into my head in the military is you got to have that integrity.
Good. First of all, thank you for your service. I am very appreciative of that. And I do want to state that. And I'm glad that the experience was one that you got not only a spouse, husband from, but you've got these excellent things such as integrity that you're able to now lean on and draw from the rest of your life. I think that's a wonderful experience, and I appreciate your service, and I'm glad it was a worthwhile or rewarding experience for you. The next question is, you've brought up your children a few times. How do you feel, or I'm going to ask it this way, what do you hope your children, as they age, what do you hope they get out of watching you run your own business?
I hope that the thing they take from it is that they can do whatever makes them happy. A conventional way of, going through high school, going through college, getting a job, that's not the only path that has to be taken. And I hope that they see that regardless of what path that they want to take, that they get to choose their destiny, they get to make their own choices, and that they can make something happen for themselves, even when somebody else is saying, you're never going to make it. Because all it takes is hard work, the grit, and the grind to want to get it done.
That's wonderful. As a parent, I think we all hope that we're good parents and that we're inspiring our children. And as a business owner, I think that you're just doing that all that much better and more. So that is wonderful. So here's another question. Share with us a challenge that you faced in business and how you overcame it.
What challenges have I not faced?
That's why I'm happy to ask it. I know everyone's had many, 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 so it's easy to ask.
Just from losing clients and finding, I guess the biggest challenge that I came across was wanting to take on whoever I could get. Mm-hmm. And even when my gut was telling me they're not the right person. Yeah. And the experience that I got out of that was trust your gut. When somebody's not right, if something feels fishy, this is a very, I don't want to say risky business that we're in, but it's a very high stakes business that we're in, I feel. Yeah. And when you go against your gut, it's not cool. Like there's a reason why your gut is saying, your intuition is just on saying you should not be doing this. And that's the biggest lesson that I've learned, is setting those boundaries and respecting my gut and knowing when to say no.
I think there is, in most people's experiences starting and building their business, this moment where first you're willing to take any and every type of client just because you're wanting the business. You're eager and excited to do the work, and you're optimistic to presume that it's all going to work out. Later on, you finally get to a point in your business where most people find this opportunity to say, you know what, I can now be more selective, more deliberate, and like you're describing, trust my gut to realize, maybe this isn't the right fit. Maybe this isn't the type of person I want to work with, or maybe this isn't the type of person I'm wanting to have as a client. And that pivotal moment is very, very telling about a company, because all of a sudden, I think you're more intentional about what it is you're doing and with whom. So, well said. I liked what you shared there. Thank you. Here's the next question. With regards to your coach, you spoke of working with a coach, very helpful. What have you learned from them that you feel is useful on a daily basis? What's something that you really have adopted and embraced?
The thing that I've adopted from her and that she spoke to me from the beginning, and I it really took a long time for me to actually accept it, was you don't have to work in your clients' books every single day. And that's not their expectation. Is they want to make sure that their finances are taken care of, that they get their reports at the end of the month, that you're having those conversations with them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay for you to spend more time working on your business than it is to be working in your business. And
I
that's the
love
thing
it.
I've taken away.
Love it. Well, I'm glad she gave you that permission. That is amazing. Yeah, there's something to be said finding the time to work on the business. You don't always have to be doing those hourly billing activities. So that's really good. Here's something that I'd be curious to know. You spoke of your husband and starting the business, your children. What kind of support has been helpful to you from your spouse as you've risked and grown and worked in your business that you're appreciative of? What kind of support have they given that has really been helpful?
The support he's been giving me is just, I'm just not even worthy of it. He's just the most amazing man. He has taken over things that he probably doesn't want to. He has been the person that has said, why you can do this, don't back down, you're smart, you're wonderful, you can conquer the world. And he's just been the biggest backbone of support in me wanting to chase after these dreams and knowing the path that I want to go down. He has been nothing short of a godsend for my personality. I am a type A, very stubborn person, and he has just taken such grace with my personality and knowing that I want to grow this and that it's not the easiest thing, but it will be a worthwhile thing. And I'm actually to a point now where he can quit his job and he is going to be coming on full time working with Each Penny Bookkeeping shortly, so that we are growing this empire together. And that's one of the proudest things I can say that I've done out of this is he's been such a support for our family for so long that I'm so thankful that I can also be that for him. So
That's amazing. I love it. One of the words that you didn't use, but I was hearing as you described, is it's nice to have a cheerleader in your corner, somebody that can kind of help support and encourage us beyond just the emotional and so forth. It's nice to have just that confidence to know somebody's got your back, and I'm glad that that's there for you. Regarding the business, a lot of the people that are listening, they're in various stages of running their business. Some of them are just starting, others have thriving businesses with many clients, with employees. And as they're listening to your story, I'm sure they're either connecting with their current situation and seeing themselves in what you've accomplished, or they're maybe reflecting back on what they've done themselves. But here's the question I have for you. What advice would you have for a business owner as they're running their accounting, bookkeeping, or tax business? What would you say peer to peer?
I would say that they need to dedicate their time to themselves also. I think it's really easy in this business to be able to focus solely on your clients, focus solely on their needs. And that's where I know personally I got burnt out, was that I was always focused on everybody else. But being selfish for yourself and then setting those boundaries and being able to not only invest in yourself professionally, but invest in yourself personally. That's the advice that I would give anybody in this business. It can get, crazy from January to April. And you really have to just take that time, even in that crazy time, to step back and be selfish for yourself.
Good, good. So, do you have a quote or a mantra, something that you use as part of your business that is kind of front and center in what you do?
For me, it's giver's gain. I like to be a huge giver. I wanted to be a nurse. I just couldn't apparently hack it. And I think that giver's gain. And so I like to give as much as possible past the expectation of anybody. So that's my mantra is giver's gain.
Good. I love it. Very, very familiar with it, and I couldn't agree more. Regarding your business, as accountants, we tend to be drawn to the numbers naturally. What numbers do you watch in your business? What KPIs do you try and follow?
I try and make sure that my advertising is staying um, at a healthy range. I like to make sure that I'm investing in myself, but also the thing that I do that I didn't for the longest time was I pay myself. I make sure that I'm living a healthy wage for myself.
Hmm.
And what do I have to do today to make sure that I can hit my goals? Always having a number in mind. I have my accountability with my coach and then my peers in our coaching program, but I set monthly goals. And in those monthly goals, I break that down by day and I say, okay, how can I make this much money today? What am I doing to get myself to this goal at the end of the month? Because not only do I have daily, monthly, but I have quarterly and yearly goals. And my goal was to get my husband out of his job by December this year. And I did it by June. So
I
I'm
love it.
pretty happy with it.
I'm glad that you're managing by the numbers. You're being very deliberate, and you spoke of it being down to the day, and I love that. That's excellent. These KPIs are so important, not just in our clients, but for ourselves. So very good.
Right.
Here's the next question, and it's kind of a shameless plug. Is there, from a technology point of view, a software or something that you feel has really helped you in your business that you think others ought to know about?
The software that I use, I mean, obviously for accounting and everything, I use QuickBooks Online for everybody, but the software that has helped grow my business
Uh-huh.
has been Keep. I
Keep.
love Infusionsoft. So Infusionsoft was bought out by Keep recently, but Keep has been great at the automation for my business, keeping in touch with my leads, nurturing those potentials, and being able to stay in front of, not only in the social media aspect, but then stay in front of in their inbox, nurturing those people that have come across my desk but have not converted. That has helped hugely. Investing in that software. Keep has been huge for me.
Very good. I love this. This is excellent. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make some mentions of our sponsors and kind of illustrate what it is that they have. And then I'm going to come back and I have some fun little questions for you that I think everybody will appreciate. So let me just first of all mention regarding our sponsors that there's 3 things available to you as you're listening to this podcast. First of all, you want to go to the episode description, and Universal Accounting Center has put together 3 things that you'll want to learn about. First of all, one of the things that Ashley has brought up is a business plan. And so here you'll have access to the turnkey business plan, the 4 things that you need to be working on in your business so that you, in fact, can offer the quality accounting services that you're preparing to do. This turnkey business plan is specific for accounting professionals addressing such things as marketing, pricing, and so forth. So take advantage of the episode description offer and get free access to this turnkey business plan course. The second happens to be, she brought up coaching and the importance of working with a coach. Learn more about what coaching actually is and what it is that you should be benefiting from as you consider various coaching services. And so they'll be provided in the episode description some coaching information as to what in fact is a quality coach and what you can expect from those types of services. The last happens to be regarding the CRM. She just mentioned something that I think we all need to be aware of, and it's what we're doing with these contacts that we get over time. We're putting all this time and energy and effort into marketing our services, meeting potential business owners, but what are we doing to nurture those and move them through a sales process to ultimately become clients? So there is a webinar that's being offered specifically to help you understand what you could be doing more to actually market and sell your services using such things as funnels, nurturing processes, and so forth to move people towards becoming, in fact, clients that are engaged in paying you for your services. So learn more about what it is you can be doing in your business to effectively nurture the leads that you have and get paying customers from those. Now, with regards to this conversation, Ashley, I want to ask you some personal questions. So the first thing I want to ask is, what does the word freedom mean to you?
Freedom means to me of being able to make your own choices, to choose your own destiny, make your way in life, and be able to do it however you see fit.
Very good. And when you have a hunger urge, what's your go-to food?
Oh, I am a Heath bar person. I'm chocolate ice cream.
Okay.
I love a Heath bar.
All right. And if I were to come to your neighborhood, if I was to come to where you are at, where is a place that you would recommend I go eat and why?
So let's see. I'm a pizza person. We are
Pizza.
pizza people.
I like that.
I like the restaurant. It's called Savarino's. They have the best buffalo wings I have ever tasted, but their pizza is, subpar. If I was going just for pizza, I would go to Marciano's.
I love it. That is great advice. Yeah, a good thing of wings. So are you a bone person or boneless person?
I like bone. My children try and steal everything, and so I prefer boneless for them, but I'm a bone-in kind of person.
I like it. Okay, good. All right. Next, if you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
I think I would want to read people's minds because I'm nosy and I'm an FBI agent. And so if I can figure out what you're thinking and why, then I can form a way to be able to deal with you.
There you go. Okay, good. So you earlier brought up social media and you mentioned that you're deliberately trying to be a resource for people there. What advice do you have for people regarding social media so as to not get sucked in to the feeds that are going on, but still using the time wisely to at least have a presence online?
I would say map out your social media, figure out what you want to say. I like to sit down and I make a calendar for the month. And then I go in and I schedule everything so that it's populating every single day. And so I take a good hour a month. I work on just social media. I put it all out there. I schedule it. And then I don't have to worry but checking in on it to make sure it's populating correctly. And if anybody's commenting on it or, things like that, I just knock it all out in, an hour or two a month so that it's just done.
God, I love it. Yes. We actually use Hootsuite to do the managing of that. Do you use any particular service?
I use Fan Booster.
Fan Booster. Very good. All right. I like that. Here's the next thing that I'd like to know. The accounting profession has evolved. Debits and credits remain the same, T accounting and so forth. But we've been very blessed as a profession to receive computers, to have software, and now there's other things on the horizon with regards to particularly technology. What do you see coming on the horizon regarding bookkeeping and remaining relevant as a professional in the services that you offer?
I think the thing that's going to be relevant and that's going to keep growing is just being able to offer those different services. Like I love that Intuit is coming out with forecasting and analytics and making it so that other bookkeeping professionals can offer that as a service to their clients, but so that small business owners can take that power into their hands also. I think that knowledge for everybody is power and that business owners are never going to want to full-time do their bookkeeping. And so they're always going to want to outsource it, but it's just giving you new tools and new things to offer your clients. And I love that you can be a bigger resource, a bigger backbone for your clients. And so I love that they're coming out with all the analytical stuff.
That's so important because I think for years we've been hearing in the profession that in addition to the compliance work that we're offering, the taxes, bookkeeping, accounting, that one of the things that the profession is definitely needing is more of engagement with the client. And typically you'll hear the words of advisory services, coaching services, and it's really seeing what more can we do to over deliver to our clients so that we become more relevant in their business and at the same time can retain them longer. And that just impacts not only the revenue that we're earning per client simply because of the additional services we're providing. But now because we retain them longer, the lifetime value of the client then is increased. And so we win on both fronts. One, we're charging more because of the services we're giving right now. And because of the quality of the services, they're going to stay with us longer. Therefore, we're increasing the lifetime value. So it's a win-win all the way around. So I think what you're describing there is very, very important. What I'd like to do is now take a quick minute here and summarize what it is we've discussed. And in this summary, just kind of point out some of the highlights of what I felt was shared by Ashley. And then I'm going to come back to Ashley and ask for a closing thought, just something that she might leave in parting. But before I do that, let me just quickly remind you that in the episode description, you have access to a variety of things that you want to take advantage of. The Sponsor Universal Accounting Center has provided there for you a turnkey business plan course that is for free, that you can actually see what it is you need to be focusing on to actually build the premier accounting firm in your area. In addition to that, we talked about coaching earlier, and so there's going to be information there as to what things you ought to be considering in order to get the right coach for you to literally have the support and the accountability to run and grow your business at an accelerated pace. And then lastly, it's this idea of what can we do to more effectively market and sell to those potential customers that we have using such things as funnels, using calendars, using a variety of technologies and resources that are available to us today to help us better time manage and be more consistent in our efforts to actually acquire new clients. You don't want to miss this webinar to find out what more things you can be doing to leverage your time, technology to get the clients you deserve. So with that, I also want to mention that this podcast is something that we want you to subscribe to. Each and every week, we come out with new episodes that highlight various things that you can be doing to work on your business to ultimately build the premier accounting firm. So in addition to this episode, listen to our others and subscribe today to this podcast. So with that being said, the highlights that I'd like to share as a summary of today's discussion is, first of all, Ashley has done an amazing job identifying as a mother, as someone with children, that there are things that she can do offering bookkeeping services that allows her to still be that wife and mother that she wants to be, but at the same time, get out into the business world and really kind of give back, make a difference, and help other businesses. Bookkeeping became something that was natural for her. And although with a rough start of the first few years, she is very grateful that she put forth the time and the energy, and more importantly, stuck to it because it has paid off. She's very successful to the point now of actually helping her husband now transition into the company and work for it full time and replacing his income. So a lot of success is there to recognize. But a lot of it stems from the fact that she's offering quality services. She had a very deliberate marketing strategy for specific things that she was doing: social, networking, sponsoring events, things that are intentional in the sense that she has a deliberate thing that she's focused on, knowing that it has an ROI and that with that effort, she's going to be able to grow her business. The other thing that I thought was very helpful and very insightful is the fact that she realizes that she is in fact helping these businesses run their businesses and be profitable, and she's making a difference. And I think it's very rewarding to realize that as accounting professionals, it's just not the reports that we're doing. It's not just the numbers. It's really giving the information to these business owners that empower them to make the best, well-informed business decisions that they need to be making as they run their companies. Now, with that being said, Ashley, what final thoughts would you like to add to this conversation?
The final thoughts I'd love to just add to this is that it's really huge. And I know it's hard for a lot of people, but once you start investing in yourself, it makes the biggest difference in your mindset and how the accountability and just how you're going to change in your business from working in it to working on it. And what I would like to be able to add is that I have a free call for everybody listening. It's the How to Add 100K to Your Business or Your Bookkeeping Business in the Next 12 Months call. It should be in the comments down below. So if that's something you are interested, I would love to be able to talk with anybody about how I put on 100K to my business in 12 months.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, the idea that I think distinguishes someone from let's say being in a job, yes, you own the business, but being in a job mentality and being an owner and being proactive is that investment. If you invest in yourself, I think you're seeing yourself as a business and you're investing in yourself. Whereas if you don't choose to invest in yourself, it's just a job and you're working and you're happy to be working. There is a distinction where all of a sudden you're willing to invest in yourself, that you're saying this is important, legitimate, and it's something I want to actually see for the long haul. So I like that distinction. Thank you for sharing that. So with that being said, everyone, thank you for listening in. This has been a wonderful opportunity listening to Ashley share her success and her story. Certainly the advice that she has as we're each working on our businesses. Again, be sure to subscribe, listen to our other episodes, and for more information on how you can apply these principles in your business, please visit us at universalaccountingschool.com or give us a phone call, 801-265-3777. And always remember this, if it is about accounting, it is universal. Take care and have a great day.